Where your attention goes, reality is created and it grows. And when you're starting to create that reality because your attention is going in that direction, the problem is that it's gonna use any stimuli in the environment and inside of you to grow even stronger and even bigger. Each one of those stimuli are not true. Is not something that in reality is going to materialize. It's not going to really is going to happen to you, but your brain, your mind creating that with your help because you're paying attention to it is gonna create it, and is gonna rely on the stimuli around you. You are working more on creating that reality that you believe that is true, that is something that is gonna happen. That's why it's so important that you have to understand that nobody's gonna show up and tell you what you're thinking, what you're creating, what you're painting in this thing. It doesn't represent what's gonna happen. You gotta find those patterns, and you gotta be able to be aware when you have those patterns of looking around you, creating that reality that is more like a fantasy. But when you feed it, when you give it attention, when you're looking at it, when you're taking it every moment, you're giving it life. You're pretty much giving permission to yourself to create a bunch of lies that are gonna look like truth. You're giving yourself permission to say what you're thinking is going to happen is right. It doesn't matter how absurd it sounds, it's gonna happen. It's difficult to change. It's difficult to change that pattern that we might have of creating something that isn't true or part of the truth if we are not aware of the pattern itself. If we are not aware that we are using the things and the fears, the words, the perceptions, and even the people around you. It could be something that is coming from external sources, like people, like places, situations, events, accidents. And it can also happen from internal sources, like reactions, perceptions, thinking, just emotions, memories that you have from the past, things that you're predicting that are going to happen in the future. If I don't believe in myself and I have low self-esteem, I'm going to find a stimuli looking at my past, thinking ever since I was 6 years old, this happened to me. I tried probably a sport. I tried to play soccer, and I was never good at soccer. And I should have known that I was not going to be able to become a good soccer player because I'm not just good at sports. And then I went to school, and my grades were really bad. And I should have known that what am I going to really put an effort in school if I knew that I'm not the smartest person. I'm not really good at school. I'm not really good at reading stuff and memorizing and being creative and remembering those things that I know that I need to work hard if I'm going to go to school. And then I'm quitting sports, and then I'm quitting school. All the relationships that I had, there have been failures. I always end up breaking up because I'm not very good with emotions, or because I'm not good looking enough, or I'm not tall enough. So anything that I can always go back and think that all the little problems that I had at school, and that can become a stimuli to attack myself. I can go back and think of all the little things that happened to me at work, and any little thing in your mind can become a stimuli to attack yourself, to minimize yourself, to tell yourself that you're not good, that you're not worth anything. You can go back to their relationships, and then you start comparing yourself and thinking that you're not good enough. So that's what happens. You have to pay attention and be able to catch those patterns. I hope it helps, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.